Welcome to another enlightening episode of Tea with Miss Nupim, where we explore the critical intersections of law, relationships, and societal norms in Ghana. Today's topic is a fascinating one that intertwines love and law. Yes, it intertwines both love and law. And the topic is breach of promise to marry. Yes, I know you're excited about this topic because you probably have an experience or two, or you know somebody who has had this experience. We will delve into what it means legally in Ghana, its implications, and the potential remedies that are available to those who have been affected. First, let's look at what breach of promise to marry is. This occurs when one party in a relationship makes it clear that they promise to marry another, but later on breaks that promise without any just cause. Yes, if you are breaking it off, there has to be a just cause. So if you break it off without any just cause, then there's been breach of promise to marry. This concept is rooted in both common law and customary law. It recognizes that marriage is not just a social contract, but a legally binding one, where a broken promise can have serious emotional and financial consequences on the other party. In Ghana, a breach of promise to marry is recognized as a valid legal claim. While it might sound old-fashioned, this legal concept still holds water, particularly in a society like Ghana, where marriage is highly valued. Under the Ghanaian laws, a person who has suffered due to broken promise to marry can bring a civil action for damages. Yes, the court may not force the person to marry you, but they may be asked to compensate you. For this civil action to hold, you need to prove certain things. One, you need to prove that there was promise to marry. The plaintiff must try as much as possible to prove that a promise to marry was made known to them. This can be demonstrated through evidence such as letters, text messages, witness statements, or even any other form of communication that shows a clear intention to marry you and then they've broken that promise. On the other hand, the defendant must also be able to explain why they were unable or unwilling to fulfill the promise they had earlier made to the plaintiff. If the reason is not considered justifiable, such as discovering infidelity, change of circumstances, or irreconcilable differences, the court may award damages to the plaintiff and tell you that the reason why you called off the marriage is not justified. A breach of promise to marry has several implications and shouldn't be taken lightly. In many cases, a person who was promised marriage may have suffered financial loss or emotional distress due to the preparations made in anticipation of the marriage. The emotional toll of a broken engagement can be so significant. It leads to feelings of betrayal, loss of social standing, and public embarrassment. In some cases, the court may award damages to compensate for the emotional distress. So yes, you should take it up. There's also financial loss. We see so many women invest in men in anticipation of marriage. They feel I'm going to settle with this person. So there's nothing wrong with investing my finances into the person. And aside that kind of investment, some women also go to the extent of purchasing marital stuff. And then at the end of the day, the marriage gets called off. If you can prove that you've invested in the person's well being and also prove that aside investing in the person's well being, you have also bought marriage stuff because you were preparing for marriage and the marriage did not hold, you would be highly compensated. For me, one of the things that worries me is the social consequences. We live in Ghana, yes, Ghana, where family and community play a significant role in personal relationships. A breach of such promise to marry can have a wider social repercussions, potentially affecting the reputation and relationships of the parties involved. And for that, it's embarrassing. For the social aspect, especially because of where we come from, I think people should tone down on promising people to marry or tone down on how they take things too personally until there is that actual or say 90 to 95% surety that yes, indeed, this is going to lead to marriage and then it will lead to marriage because the social consequences are a lot. If a court finds that a breach of promise to marry has occurred, it may award damages to the aggrieved party. This damage can cover both financial losses that have been incurred and also the emotional distress that the person suffered. However, it's important for us to note that these damages are typically compensatory, also monetary terms, not punitive, meaning they are only meant to restore the plaintiff to their prior position rather than to punish the defendant. So don't expect that the defendant will be punished or the defendant will be forced into marrying you. No, that does not happen. The court cannot force anyone to marry, but they will ensure that you are compensated for the money you lost and also for the emotional damages that you suffered. In Ghana, promise to marry is not just a mere romantic gesture. It's a legal commitment that carries serious implications if broken without any just cause. The reason it seems okay is because most people would rather just let it slide and suffer rather than taking it up legally. While the idea of suing for a broken promise might seem drastic, the law provides a means of redress for those who have suffered significant harm due to such breaches. As we continue to navigate the complexities of love and law, it's essential to recognize the legal weight that promises carry, especially in matters of marriage. Promises carry a lot of weight. So be careful before you promise somebody marriage. Be sure you mean it before you promise them marriage. Don't go about promising people marriage so you can have your way with them. No, be sure and be serious before you promise marriage. Thank you for joining me on Tea with Miss Nupe. Until next time, please do stay tuned for more insightful discussions on the intersections of life, law, and society. Until next time, do take care and have a great day.